Hi, my name is Amanda Rocha. I'm an estate planning and probate attorney in California, and today I want to discuss disinheriting your spouse. Before I get into the reason why we're going to discuss this very interesting topic, I want to give you my contact information in case you want to discuss this in further detail or contact me for any other reason. You can find me through my website, www.amandarocalaw.com. You can comment down below if this platform allows you to do that, or you can find me on social media at Amanda Rocha Law. You would think that this is not a topic that most people would be discussing with me. However, I did receive a call from a potential client on behalf of a parent who is elderly, and the potential client's stepmother and father are married, not separated, but they're not in a good place. And she wanted to know how her father could disinherit his wife. And so I thought it was a very interesting topic to discuss, one that I don't really normally get to discuss with any of my actual clients. So I thought I would let you all know what I told her. First of all, most people aren't going to disinherit their spouses or ask to. They would rather get divorced, right? Or maybe not get divorced, but maybe they want to. Who knows? Who knows? Most people aren't going to do this. But here's the deal, okay? In California, we live in a community property state, and I have already created a video on what is community property. In case you're interested, you can go back and watch that and get the details. But basically, if you own separate property from your spouse, you can choose to do with that property whatever you want during your lifetime and after you've passed away in your estate plan. So if you owned a home prior to marriage, and let's say it's an investment home or investment property, and you get married afterward and you don't have to pay anything toward that during your marriage, it's been paid off, let's say, or it's paid for through the rental income, you can choose that property goes to somebody completely different, and your spouse won't have any say in it as long as they didn't make any payments toward that or have any ownership stake in it. So it can get very fuzzy if, let's say, you owned a property when you got married and you used your income during your marriage to continue making payments on that property. In that case, it's partially community property, it's partially separate property, and so you may not be able to disinherit your spouse from that particular property. As far as any community property goes, as you've already guessed based on what I've just said, you can't take that property away from your spouse without their agreement. So at any point in time during your marriage, you can fill out legal documents that would transfer property either from one singular person's separate property into the community property, or to the other spouse outright as separate property, or community property can turn into separate property. But you have to do that in a certain way. It can't just be an agreement you have between the two of you. So if you both were in agreement on what were going to happen, then you can transfer property as your separate property and then dispose of it as you wish. But just know that if you don't have an estate plan, or if you have an ineffective estate plan and you never get around to saying what you want done with your separate property, then your spouse is going to inherit it when you pass away, regardless of your wishes, if you don't have a correct estate plan. The answer wrapped up in a little bow for you is certain property you can choose with whatever if it's separate property. Community property, you cannot disinherit your spouse from something that is theirs. And also, if you don't have an estate plan or a proper estate plan, all of your property is going to be disposed of in the way that the court chooses, and that means to your spouse and children if you have children outside of your marriage. If you want to discuss this in any kind of detail, you can find me on my website, www.amandarocalaw.com. You can comment down below if this platform allows you to do that, or you can find me on social media at Amanda Rocha Law. Thank you.